Hi YouTube, it's Anneke Van Buren from hot and steamy Tampa, Florida. Well, I had all kinds of plans to do a new cocktail for you today called Kiss the Ring, which is a riff on a French 75, which means you make it with some champagne and some other things. I was going to use Prosecco, so I had everything all lined up here on my tray, except the Prosecco, which was in the fridge chilling. And then I went in to reach for it and realized I'd taken it with me to my sister's this weekend. She's going up north for the summer, the whole summer, the lucky dog. And I didn't have any Prosecco, and it was too late to go run out to the liquor store. So I thought, what can I do? Well, I'm just gonna make something that's my favorite, but I'm gonna put a little twist on it for you. So what I'm making today is my version of kind of a summer old-fashioned with one of my favorite ryes, which is Templeton. And I've been unable, I should say, to find it for quite a while. And then when I went to Total Wine, which is a really, really big wine and liquor store here. I think they're all around the country also. Huge, it's like a mega store. I looked and looked and couldn't find it, and then I asked the clerk, do you have Templeton? Oh yeah, it's right here. In a different bottle. They changed the shape of the bottle. It used to have this beautiful bottle. It was very elegant. And this is kind of harkens back to maybe around Prohibition time. It's got the raised glass on it. So it's kind of cool in its own way. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna make my version of the old fashioned today. So I have a chilled glass here. I'm gonna add the ice that's in it into my shaker. And I'm gonna start out first with a wedge of orange. Now I'm making this the way it used to be made when I first started enjoying old fashions, where you muddled the contents of the fruit. So there's a wedge of orange, and I'm going to use 2 of these Luxardo cherries. And then I'm going to add, the recipe would normally call for maybe 2 or 3 or 4 shakes of bitters. Did you count? Yeah, there's a whole bunch in there because I love bitters. And if you don't remember my saying this before, if you have an upset tummy, there's ginger in here. It's great for that. And then I'm going to add about a teaspoon of simple syrup. Yeah, I'm trying to be on a relatively sugar-free diet, but sometimes you just got to use the real thing. Stevia in an old-fashioned just doesn't cut it. I'm sorry. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my muddler, going down in the bottom of the glass, and what you do is you press against the fruit, squash the cherries, crush the orange, give it a good mash. You want to release the juice, and you want to release the oil in the zest. Now today they make them, they just pour in the bitters and the simple syrup, then the rye, throw in some ice, top it off with a little club soda, and then throw in an orange peel and a cherry, and it don't get muddled. And I'm sorry, it's not the same. I don't like it. So I'm going back to the old way to do it. Okay, then I'm going to add 2 ounces of rye, Templeton rye, as I said, my favorite. I like bullet rye too. There's a lot of great ones out there, let's face it. In other words, I like the good ones. And top the glass off with some ice. I'm going to reach right here into the drawer and get out my I'm going to use my spoon. I'm going to give it a good stir. Now the glass is already chilled, but you still want to give it a good stir to chill it. I don't like warm cocktails, and I always watch these British murder mysteries from BBC. Now you know one of the things that I like. BritBox, Masterpiece Theater, I absolutely love. And they're in that English country home, and they have all the crystal decanters on the side of the bar in the library, and they pour the rye or the bourbon or whatever right in the straight glass and drink it, no ice. We Americans are just so looked down upon because we put ice in our drink. Sorry. That's what I like. So that's good. Glass is starting to get really cold. Now here's my departure. Instead of club soda or seltzer, I'm going to add the Topo Chico. So kind of maybe lighten it up. Just fill it to the top. You don't need that much. It's kind of a splash. And maybe give it a little slight twist of lemon in there also. I'm going to give just a little stir. And there we are. Anneke's Summer Old Fashioned. Let's see what it tastes like. Oh, I like it. This really isn't over the top overpowering with that little bit of a lemon in there. Good. I'll save that for later. And sometimes I know you're wondering, what in the world is behind me? Well, this is my version of a bar. And years ago, I bought this armoire. The doors look like a castle. And at one time, it held one of those old TVs, the big, huge ones with the big back on it, and it had a hole cut in the back where you shoved the TV, and then you put your electronics up here, your DVD player, CDs, whatever you wanted to do, speakers in the top. So I bought this for $90 in the secondhand shop and brought it home and didn't know what to do with that big hole in the back. So I scouted around the house, I shopped the house, and then I found this painting that exactly fit right in there, and I just propped it up against there. Doesn't fall over, nope, doesn't go anywhere. So I have my cocktail glasses up here, my little copper jiggers, my shot glasses, my little tiny cordial glasses, and then all my favorite spirits are right in the front. Courvoisier, Bullet, Herradura, my Templeton, Crown, all the ones I love the best in the big bottles in the back as well. And then I also have more room down here in this cabinet for more storage. My blender and all the overflow. So it's worked out really nicely, especially for me in this very, very small place. And it's forced me to become very, very organized. I still have a ways to go. I have a storage room in the back, and I've tried to organize that as best I can, but I still need to get rid of some more things. It's not the easiest thing in the world to downsize, I've found. I've done that twice now in the last year and a half. I moved from 2,000 square feet, apartment, beautiful, in this same community with a 2-car garage, outside patios, went up to Ocala, moved into 1,460 square feet with a 1-car garage. I had to get rid of probably half of what I had in the first one. And I was there for about a year. And while it's a lovely, lovely community and a very sweet town, it just wasn't the place for me to do what I do professionally. So I got ready to move again. And I decided, well, this is an opportunity for me in my life to really downsize and to start to prepare for the day when I might not be able to work, or I might not want to work anymore. And then I can just live on the little pension that I have without being under kind of strain. So once again, I downsized and I went to 500 square feet. I know, that's all this is. And I had to get rid of half of what I had left from the last downsize, and that was very difficult. I sold a lot, and then what I didn't sell or give away to family and friends, I donated to a local charity that supports the VFW and other charities. And they came with a 16-foot truck, and what was left in my house filled that whole truck. That's what I couldn't sell. Those were bittersweet moments, let me tell you. And they even took the trash, and off it went. And that was it. We cleaned the house, patched up the holes. When I say we, my son, a friend, and I, my sister helped. And I moved back down to this community that I had lived at before, which is where I should be, because it's just, all my friends are here. Been here for years and years and years. And the way that we live here is more conducive to me and what I do professionally and the open-minded view that I have of the world. So I'm back down here just north of Tampa and happy as a clam. And one of the wonderful things that happened through all of this is that divesting myself of all this stuff that I've accumulated over the years, and I've moved many, many times and downsized many, many times. I love interior design. I've managed to accumulate more. So what I did when I moved is I just bought things that I loved the best and only bought what I needed that was going to fit in this smaller space. It's tremendously freeing. And if someday I can't work or I decide I want to retire, I'll be able to afford to live here without doing either of those things. So in the end, it's a win-win. And I'm back among my friends. And I consider all of you my friends. Well, that's it for me today. I rambled on long enough, but I know sometimes some of you are curious about what my life is like. I watch a lot of other YouTube channels from all around the world about people's everyday lives. I love to watch Nikki and Carlo in the Positano broadcast that they do, and the one that they have from Tuscany. And it's just them putzing around their house, working in their garden, walking up and down the steps, meeting with their friends, just their everyday life, and have millions and millions of viewers. Because that's what a lot of you want to see, who we are in the real world. What else do we do aside from making cocktails? That's my goal down the road, which means I'll need to buy some more equipment to make that possible. I cannot film where I live. I cannot walk around the neighborhood with a camera. It's just absolutely not allowed. But when I go away on a little vacation in a couple of weeks, I'm going to bring my selfie stick with me, and I'll film as I go. I just want to reach out and say hello and thank you for being here to all my friends and supporters from all over the world. And for 99.9% of the time, you are absolutely perfect gentlemen, ladies, courteous, polite, respectful, and I thank you. And I want to say a little shout out to my friend in Eindhoven. Thank you for watching. There's people from everywhere. Tell me where you're from in the comments. I'd love to know. And if you want to just say hi and express what you feel about this channel, or ask me questions, I'll be happy to answer them for you, because I do read your comments. So if you like being here, please subscribe and then hit that notification bell. I don't do editing. This is straight out of my iPhone to you. But that's all I have for today, so I'll see you next week. Have a smile. Share it with someone today. Namaste, my friends. Let's see if my little gizmo here turns this off. Bye.